He's Sam.
Oh, and he's Max.
And this is Movies Actually, our fresh take on new releases from both the box office and the streaming box. And on this episode, we'll be looking at Good Boy. And that's Good Boy 2025, not Good Boy 2022, the Norwegian horror film that's also a furry movie.
What, a furry movie?
Apparently, it's a Norwegian horror film about a man who treats his friend as his dog and dresses him up as a furry.
Alright, that's all I need to know. Thank you very much. Yeah, definitely the new one, not that one.
Yes, so this is the 2025 independent horror film, written, produced, directed and edited by Ben Leonberg, with additional support from Shudder. Originally done as an independent film that came out at the beginning of October.
This is essentially the story of Indy, a very good boy, and his journey with his owner Todd, as Todd moves back to his grandfather's house after some unfortunate news.
Mm-hmm.
And things start to bother Indy. Now, I'm going to leave it there. Later on, we might talk about some spoilers, but I just want you to get the basic premise down and out of the way. It's ever so good, because this film is told entirely from the dog's point of view. We do see humans, but we see them from the waist down, or we see their faces in shadow, or slightly out of shot, slightly blurred. They are not the main characters, even though they contribute to the story, undoubtedly. But this is Indy's story, and the film masterfully captures his experience.
The dog himself, Indy, is the director's dog, called Indy, who I didn't actually look it up. So the breed of dog he's a Nova Scotia duck tolling retriever.
That's quite a long name.
Otherwise known as a toller.
Oh, right, okay.
That's a toller, not Ayatollah.
We're not going there. This is not that kind of video.
No, it's not. But yes, they're apparently the one of the smallest breeds of retriever. They're gun dogs.
Really? Because he's a reasonably large dog. He's not huge, but he's a good-sized medium dog.
Yeah. But as their name suggests, predominantly used for duck hunting. As a consequence of which, a little piece of trivia for you, they have webbed feet.
Not that you would have had an opportunity to notice that in the film, but that's amazing.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
No, it was just like, oh,
New
wow.
thing learned. There we go, folks.
Yeah.
Facts and fantasy, all in one video.
Yes. It's no hyperbole at all. You should really go and see this film. It was such a disappointment when we went to see it at the cinema, because that was the day it was released here in the cinema in Norwich, and there was maybe 6 other people aside from ourselves.
There were 6 other people.
Yeah.
Exactly 6.
And 2 of them left halfway through.
I don't know why. Surely they must have known the film they were getting into when they bought the tickets.
Exactly, especially here, because Norwich does have something of a reputation of being a bit more of something of a cultural hub.
It is a bit, yeah. Yeah, it is a bit, yeah.
Yeah, actually, it might have had a bigger turnout at, say, the likes of Cinema City.
Absolutely, because the people who go to Cinema City are much more niche people.
Yeah.
But we're getting away from the subject here.
We are, yes. It was shot over a period of about 400 days.
Apparently so, yes. I don't know if it was exactly 400 or over or under. And to be honest, when you think that your central character is an animal, it's probably not that surprising. But still, 400 days, that's dedication. That's more than a year of your life. And I think, in fact, it took them nearly 3 years to film.
Wow.
Because obviously they couldn't film every single day.
No, of course. And the performance that he does get from Indy is fantastic. You can't help but empathise. You're totally on board with the dog. He's brilliant in the part. As somebody who's not always been a huge sort of dog person, I don't mind dogs, so I've always been a bit like yourself. I think I've always been more of a cat person than a dog person.
I'm more of a cat person, but I do love dogs, and I've had many dogs in my life.
See, I haven't. But again, it does, you have a newfound appreciation for man's best friend.
Yeah, absolutely. For myself, one of our dogs stands out in particular, Jasper. He was a good boy. He was a very good boy. Very much like Indy in this film. And that is the thing. You get this straight away. He is a good boy. He cares for his master. He cares what's happening. And the fact that the director is able to get this performance out of his dog is really quite extraordinary because it's very expressive.
It is, yes. And that's the other thing to remember with this film, especially going into it, is put your preconceptions aside before you go in. You know, this is indie cinema at its best. It doesn't follow Hollywood conventions in terms of plotting and narrative. It forges its own path. And so you have to remember that, especially in the current sort of age of slop, as they're calling it. This doesn't follow the sort of the three-act structure and what you'd expect, that kind of ramping up that you get from most Hollywood films. It tells its own story. So go in with that in mind, that you're not going to be able to preempt where the story's going to go. It's going to take you where it wants to.
There are one or two moments when you'll go, aha, I think I know where this is going, and it doesn't. Mm-hmm. It genuinely doesn't. As you say, this film forges its own path. It's also incredibly short. It's only 74 minutes. So it's packed. And how do I say this? They do a wonderful job of giving you a story whilst spending almost all of the camera's time on a dog, who of course is incapable of what we would consider communication. But through background noises, overheard conversations, and other things that happen during these long extended shots of Indy interacting or apparently interacting with what's going on around him, you get a really strong sense of the story that's being told here. It's, again, masterfully told, especially for a first-time director.
Yeah. And again, there's a couple of bits where it may seem like the story kind of jars or jumps, but again, you're telling this from a dog's point of view, so there are parts of it that you won't know and you can't see because he doesn't know and he can't see. Exactly. So just bear that in mind as well. Despite our experience of when we went to see it at the cinema, which was a bit disappointing, it's done really well. I mean, the original indie version of the film apparently was made on a budget of about $5,000.
$5,000?
Yes.
Christ, I could afford that.
But then, obviously, when it was picked up by Shudder, they then added some production costs into it, which brought the final production cost up to about $2.3 million. I don't know. That's just
I'm a
what I
little
read.
mystified. I mean,
what they did, I don't know. That's just what I read. Was
the advertising campaign all right? $1 million? I mean, the film sells itself. Where's the rest of the money going?
I don't know. That I don't know.
That's weird.
But it took that back. It made just shy of $1 million in its opening weekend, and within 3 days had made about $2.3 million, and that was across about 1,600 theatres in the US.
Oh, well, there you go.
In 3 days.
Yeah.
At the time of filming this, when I checked, its current box office is about $4 million, which for, and again, an original investment of $5,000.
That's incredible, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's just incredible. I mean, that's going back to Blair Witch levels of...
It is.
Of entrepreneurial... Sometimes having no money and no resources can make the most invention in filmmaking and storytelling, and this is a perfect example of it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, well, that's always been the case. I mean, even if you look back to, again, we've been watching a lot of the old sort of classic Doctor Who, and you look at that, what they sacrifice in effects budget, they make up for in performance and story.
Mm-hmm. And this is very much the same sort of thing. Now, I do want to say at this point, it is a horror movie, but it is not scary. There is one or two little jumps, but it is not scary. However, it is creepy as anything.
Yes.
It's about atmosphere, and it is built masterfully, as so much of this film is. So don't expect to be leaping out of your seat shrieking in terror. That's not the kind of story this is, but you will remember it.
It's a wonderful slow burn as well, and that's always good. I always have time for a slow burn.
Absolutely. I mean, and this is the perfect slow burn. 74 minutes. Mm-hmm. Perfect. Not dragging it out, not drying your eyes out, pinned eyes open, Clockwork Orange style. 74 minutes. It's a slow burn, but it does it in a tiny period of time.
Yes.
So you don't feel like your time's being wasted, and you don't shuffle, you don't feel uncomfortable, you don't think, oh, what time is it? You think, oh gosh, what's happening next?
And it's not a criticism, it's just the one thing that I wish we'd have seen a bit more of, is where Todd leaves and he leaves Indy in the house. And then it flicks straight from him kind of realising that his master's gone to him still sat there in the evening. I would have liked to have seen a bit more of him in the house during the day on his own.
Yeah, I honestly thought at that point we were going to get more of that, but obviously they felt that it wasn't necessary for whatever reason.
But that was it. That's my one criticism of the film. Xadrum is more than just curious content on YouTube. We're also a small publishing house with books covering a range of genres from 1940s pulp adventure to children's novels and even a touch of the macabre for those who like their literature on the dark side. Our titles are available in both paperback and ebook formats. Ebooks are available on Amazon, but physical copies can only be bought exclusively through our website at xadrum.com. Jeff's got enough cash as it is, so why not help us little guys grow and thrive? Links can be found in our banner and in the description to all of our videos, and we look forward to helping you indulge your itch for escapism. Do you want to talk spoilers?
I was about to say.
Cool.
Yes.
So if you don't want to see this bit, then please go to the time code on screen now. Otherwise, keep watching at your own risk.
I enjoyed the heck out of this movie, but I'm kind of glad we went to see it on Friday. This is Sunday. We've had 2 days to digest the movie. Normally, I'm very keen on getting my reviews as soon as I've seen the movie, but in this particular case, I feel like this is time well spent percolating on the ideas. Mm-hmm. As I mentioned to you earlier, I'm not entirely certain that this is a ghost story per se. I think the entity that we're seeing is not, as you rightly pointed out, a metaphor for Todd's illness, but in fact the illness itself. There's a scene at the beginning when, even before Todd has gone to his grandfather's grandfather's house, should I say? I don't think it's a farm.
No, it's just a house in the country, isn't it?
Just a house. When things are starting to go wrong with Todd, and Indy is fixated on the corner of the room, and it's very obvious from the lighting and the effects that are going on that something is in that corner. And on mature reflection, that's not a part of the haunting that happens when they go to the house. So I'm starting to wonder, not is it a metaphor, but is it literally the disease? Is that the entity he can perceive?
See, I wasn't too sure about that because I know later in the film that he does reference the fact that he either used to live there or they used to go and visit his grandfather's place a lot, and suggesting that that there was something wrong with the house. So I didn't know whether it was something that had possibly latched onto him in his youth and has just grown over time.
Oh, that's a very interesting. You see, I hadn't considered that. Options. I mean, obviously, it's very clear that there's something wrong with the house, that it makes things worse.
Yes,
without giving away too much. But I'm forced to wonder, because obviously dogs are very sensitive to that thing, and we know that certain dogs, especially certain breeds, are very good at sniffing out cancers and things like that.
They are,
it's been
yes,
done before.
Because and cats as well are like that as well, aren't they?
So we know that these animals are sensitive to these things, and how might that animal perceive it? As an impending darkness? As a murky, shadowy, mucky figure? Who knows? Anyway, I find it interesting because it creates layers of interpretation to this film. Like an onion, baby. You can call it a ghost story, you can call it a story about disease, you could call it a story about a dog's perception of reality, and there are probably 3 or 4 other interpretations that I haven't thought of. It's got layers of possibility in it. It's open-ended, but in a way that encourages your imagination.
Which is, yeah, absolutely. And that's the other good thing about this as well. Yeah, as you can see, 2 days later, we're still talking about it, and that's what's really good about it. It allows you to form your own opinion. It doesn't dictate to you what the movie should be.
And it certainly doesn't hold your hand.
No. I'm kind of thinking that if we might be seeing a kind of a trend for this, because I saw, around the same time as I heard about this film, I think there's a new horror game coming out where you play the cat in the house. I don't know, not Stray, because that one's been out for a while.
No, that's been out for a few years.
But no, this is, by the looks of it, it's a haunted house and you are the family cat.
Ha! Maybe it could be the new zeitgeist.
Maybe.
It could be, in which case I approve wholeheartedly. It's a new approach to horror.
Yes. But what's also nice about it as well is it's somebody's finally sort of stopped and shone a light on a horror movie staple that's always been there. You know, the family cat, the dog that won't come into the house
Absolutely.
when you move in, or the cat that leaps out as for the jump scare, that kind of thing. You know?
Yeah.
Then somebody's gone, well, they've always been a bit player in these things. Now let's make them the star.
And it is done masterfully. Shall we?
I think we should. As you can probably tell, it's going to be both of these.
Oh, absolutely. And the same for me. It's definitely joining my collection.
Yes, absolutely. So if you can, if it's showing in your area, do go and see it. It is well worth your time, well worth your money. So I think, well, hopefully for the next one of these, we will be going back to the streaming box as opposed to the box office, which will be looking at something that we may have had a slight hand in, which will be the indie release from Television Bandits and A10 Films' Diamond Dogs. If he's free, we should be joined on the sofa by the director himself, our good friend Chris Smith. So we will see you as and when we can put that one together. And as always, look after yourselves, look after one another, and as it is still the time of year, stay spooky.
Indeed, folks. As always, TTFN.
I shall never come here.